Thank you for tuning in to Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Here's what's coming up in today's show. The government is working hard to reduce corruption in the public sector, and we'll tell you how. Plus, we'll look at a peaceful way of dealing with conflict, and later, the benefits and ease of making blood donations. All that and more after this message.
The JIS Heritage Competition is back. Enter your essay, poster, or photo and win big prizes. If you're aged 9 to 12 years, enter the essay competition and tell us who is your favorite Jamaican sportsman or sportswoman and why. High school students, enter the poster competition. This year's theme is Jamaica's Rich Sporting Heritage. If you're a tertiary level student, enter the photo competition. This year's theme is I Am a Sports Champion. Competition closes for all 3 categories on November 6. Get started now. For information on submission and competition guidelines, visit our website at jis.gov.jm. Call 926-359-024, extension 2137, or send an email.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, November 2. Jamaica's economy grew by 2.3% between July and September of this year, the highest growth in a single quarter since 2002. Finance Minister Audley Shaw made the disclosure in Parliament Tuesday, saying agriculture accounted for most of the growth with 28.8%. Minister Shaw said the movement in the economy has led to a higher growth projection for the fiscal year.
Projections, therefore, that were projected for 1.4% growth by the PIOJ, the projections now are looking at 1.8% to 2% growth in the fiscal year that we are in. That is now the projection for growth. We are well on our way to 5 in 4, 5% growth in 4 years.
Meanwhile, Minister Shaw says a stakeholder group has been set up to work with the Bank of Jamaica to address matters relating to the sliding dollar. The group will have its first meeting on Friday and will meet on a weekly basis thereafter.
All ideas must contend. We come together, we sit down, and I am satisfied, Mr. Speaker, that with a buy-in to this approach, we can stabilize our exchange rate that can give the country a chance to grow and grow our way out of the economy.
Minister Shaw also gave the assurance that there's no shortage of foreign exchange, outlining that the country's gross reserves is over $3 billion. At the end of trading on Tuesday, the Jamaican dollar was at $129.05 to $1. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is again appealing to Jamaicans to properly dispose of their garbage. In encouraging personal responsibility, Mr. Holness says garbage should be looked at as a means to achieve economic stability.
We encourage Jamaicans to, instead of just throwing it away, that's the easy way of disposing. But the smarter way of disposing is to separate it, put it together, and there are many persons doing recycling now who you can provide that to on a commercial basis.
The Prime Minister also made a special appeal to commercial waste generators.
Use the regulated channels in doing so. Contact the NSWMA or an appropriate service provider.
Prime Minister Holness was speaking Monday as he announced an enterprise team to oversee the divestment of the Riverton dump disposal site. And the Prime Minister is currently in Trinidad and Tobago representing Jamaica's interests at the 2016 High-Level Caribbean Forum hosted by the International Monetary Fund. Mr. Holness will join regional prime ministers, finance ministers, central bank governors, international financial institutions, and the private sector to exchange views on the challenges facing the Caribbean. The one-day forum, being held under the theme Shifting Tides, Challenges and Opportunities, will look at issues such as growth, competitiveness, oil prices, Cuba, and policies to address de-risking. Minister Derek Smith is in charge of government while Prime Minister Holness is away. Mr. Holness returns to the island tomorrow. The science and technology sector is expected to be strengthened with next year's tabling and passing of the Science, Technology and Innovation Policy. Portfolio Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley says the policy will increase the economic benefits from products and businesses in the area.
This is a critical tool for development of this sector and will of course provide the overarching guidance for national development in this area.
Minister Wheatley was speaking at the recent launch of Science and Technology Month. Dr. Wheatley, meanwhile, says he'll be encouraging scientific research and the integration of science and technology into all areas of development. And finally, the Supreme Court now has 15 desktop computers to improve its jury management system. The court also received a high-density server, data backup and storage devices, as well as a firewall protector. The $19.2 million equipment was provided by the Canadian government-funded Justice Undertakings for Social Transformation JUST program.
The modernization of the court system cannot take place without the use of 21st century cutting-edge technology. And these computers will indeed go a very far way in helping our drive to provide first world standard of justice for all Jamaican citizens.
Justice Minister Delroy Chuck also used Tuesday's function to announce plans to have 12 courtrooms in the Supreme Court trying criminal cases.
It's good to have courtrooms, but we need the judges, we need the prosecutors, and we need the support staff. And we're actively working on that to make sure that sometime next year, hopefully earlier rather than later, we can say that 12 courts are trying criminal cases at any time.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thank you for watching.
Motorists, know your rights as road users. If you're stopped by the police in a road check, the police have the right to ask for your driver's license and vehicle documents. If you don't have the documents on you, you can ask for 5 days to provide them at a convenient police station. If you don't have vehicle insurance, you can be prosecuted and face the court. If you fail to renew the registration license, the police are entitled to seize your vehicle. If the police wish to search your vehicle, they should tell you the reasonable grounds for wanting the search. If you are given a ticket, sign it only if you plan to pay the fine and not contest the charge in court. And please be reminded, children under 18 years must wear a seatbelt, even if they are seated in the back. Know your rights. Knowledge of the traffic road code makes it easier to work with the police as they do their job to make the roads safer for you and everyone else.
Keeping them honest. The government is determined to decrease corrupt practices among public servants. Here's how.
The Commission for the Prevention of Corruption was established to eliminate dishonest or illegal practices within government services by enforcing the Corruption Prevention Act.
The aim of the Corruption Prevention Act is to ensure that the public servant in his dealings is fair, honest, and not corrupt.
As part of ensuring that happens, the Commission for the Prevention of Corruption is entrusted with receiving and keeping records of statutory declarations made by public servants. That's basically a list of assets, liabilities, and income. Public officials should make a statutory declaration every year if they earn over $2 million annually.
And the $2 million is all perquisites of office: salary, traveling, uniform, robing, whatever it is that may be given.
But there are some categories of persons who have to make that declaration even if they earn less than $2 million. They include parish councillors, police personnel, members of the military, customs officers, and persons employed to the Island Traffic Authority.
Since January 2003, public servants have been required to give statutory declarations on an annual basis. For it to be in keeping with the Act, statutory declarations must be given within 3 months of December 31 of each year.
That means select public officials have until March 31 of the following year to make their statutory declarations. So what exactly does one disclose on the declaration form? Well, information is needed about the assets of yourself, spouse, or children living with you, supported by bank statements. One would also be required to disclose investments and life insurance policies.
Salary details and particulars, liabilities such as loans that you may have undertaken, and it also covers the fact that you may have acquired new assets since the last reporting period or disposed of assets during that period.
Such information will help the Commission determine whether a public official is participating in any dishonest activity through or while being employed in the public service.
They are not taking bribes. They are not increasing their assets unwillingly or unwittingly or using their office for gain.
If the Commission comes across anything that doesn't add up,
what the Commission has to do is to report the matter to the Director of Public Prosecution, who then initiates the action. And that is ongoing.
And the Commission is ramping up activities to get public officials to file their declarations, especially since only 50% of the 36,000 individuals are actually complying with the law. Trials have been ongoing. If public officials fail to file their declarations or make a false declaration, upon conviction, they may face a fine of up to $200,000, be imprisoned for up to 2 years, or face both a fine and imprisonment. On the other hand, if one is convicted of corruption in a resident magistrate's court, in the first instance, they will face up to $1 million in fines, 2 years imprisonment, or both. If one is a repeat offender, the fine goes up to $3 million, 3 years in prison, or both. The penalties get stiffer if one is convicted of corruption in the circuit court. First offenders will face up to $5 million in fines, up to 5 years in prison, or both. For repeat offenders, it's up to $10 million, up to 10 years in prison, or both. The Commission for the Prevention of Corruption, using statutory declarations to assess the assets and liabilities of select public officials, stamping out dishonest practices, building integrity in the public service. For more information, contact the Commission at 968-6227 or visit their website cpcpd.gov.jm.
Sunday is a family day. We like cook together, talk, share ideas and help each other. We reason about things.
I spend quality time with my family every day.
It is very important because at the end of the day, you have children around you and you have to show them that, okay, this is the foundation, this is the way it's supposed to be.
They keep the family together and in line, you know, and especially with the boys.
As members of a society, we all need to get along with each other. Sometimes this is difficult and conflicts do arise. The Dispute Resolution Foundation is pushing a non-violent way of dealing with these disagreements.
John, what happened to the partner money when I
want to done this, I'm buy cash. I want to.
How you buy cash?
Yo, I want to know money. I want to know money. Yo.
Lorraine, this don't look proper. It don't sound good. This can cause death. It can cause bloodshed. There is a better way to do it. There is a better way. Just sit here. Sit here. John and Lorraine.
Put on this. Me and Ali. No, never hear about mediation yet. No, I never hear about them. But I'm a trained mediator, so here I come here. Alright, you sit down there, sir. You see, just cool them, cool on the back was cool up and easy. Next time,
Alright, finish it.
Just calm down. You see, just listen to man, just easy the eye the man, show the bag one, sir. A school, man. All right, let me hear from you now, babes. What happened?
I get my partner. In my work, you know, I didn't walk and gamble. I'm going to put it up for buying the people them book for back to school. And when we're going to try and teeth it up down with it.
All right, John. Yeah, she say she love, you love make him talk, you know. Because just love you make you talk. You see, just don't say nothing. So what happened now, John?
Shut up about gambling. Regular, I'm a gambler and gear for pay the partner.
Yeah.
I'm just take the money and say I invest. I'm back to school and nothing now go on. Yeah. And losing my first pound. Make I buy a nice second pound, now she go on, so.
All right, now. Yeah, you listen to me now. You see, because I listen to the two now. You see, John, I hear that thing that you just said. You see, you can't go invest in that cash spot, John.
The number must play.
Let me talk now. Don't me listen to you. No, the number must play, Masker. Don't you lose?
Yeah, but you're playing at 5 o'clock.
No, how you sure to play at 5 o'clock?
Because I know I want sure number.
No, John, I better you go buy some onion and some peas and go to the Coronation Market, so John, because you're sure for sell something. You see, if I have that pound of onion, you're sure of that more than the cash back number I play. You see? So I don't do them things this time because you want to use them things. You see, so here one now. More of the item just look into them one another and see say why you're wrong and just admit twice so you're wrong. But we're not fighting thing no more because that's not going to work. You see? So more of the item just be allow the item and just come together, admit you're wrong, and just call it a day. You see, I just go up a little more and boom bang. You see? So look more, when I come back everything was nice. Alright, cool.
John, no, Lorraine, you don't say for real. But guess what? You have $500 left in them, you can buy a 5 o'clock pan.
Buy a 5 o'clock pan?
Just call the money, you might talk about the onion, you lend me a money, let me buy some onion and little more. So I can't try back in a 5 o'clock pan.
And you don't must win, you don't must play.
Sure, alright, here one, make I use the $500, you just make it up and buy some onion and try it.
Then better you do that then.
The underlying reason for the peace slowly taking over is the Dispute Resolution Foundation's We Want Justice program. It was a very ambitious project to help community members resolve conflicts in a harmonious way. 10 communities were selected: Tivoli Gardens and Trenchtown in the corporate area, and other communities in Spanish Town, Maypen, and Montego Bay. But it was no easy task for the DRF members going into communities, convincing angry, dejected residents that alternative dispute strategies could be used to resolve their issues. With the support of the European Union, the staff of DRF was determined that the project must be a success, that the objective of creating peaceful communities must be met. And so, community members were trained. About 500 persons were given lessons in mediation, restorative justice, negotiation, and arbitration. At the workshops, they were also exposed to human rights and governance matters. Upon completion of training, community members signed a memorandum of understanding, agreeing to promote a peaceful manner in resolving conflicts. The process has been rewarding. A number of residents are trained mediators, peacekeepers, as they are called by neighbors who live within the communities. For more information on the We Want Justice program or for more details on alternative dispute methods and training, contact the Dispute Resolution Foundation, 5 Camp Road, Kingston 4, or telephone 906-2456 or 908-3657.
This is my appeal, Jamaica. Give blood for it.
Give blood and give the gift of life. So safe you don't have to think twice. Do what you can for one another.
Yeah, man.
Be a hero, be a blood donor.
Yeah, me people, watch it. Give blood. For your sister and your brother, save the life of another. You might never know.
Give blood.
As you love a life, you love many people, one blood. The Father says so.
One blood.
Sign up today, be a blood donor. Many people, one blood.
Many lives are saved because of blood donations. Giving blood is simple, safe, and relatively painless. In our next feature, the acting director of the National Blood Bank explains how easy it is to give blood.
There are many fears and misconceptions about giving blood, some of which we'll be dispelling for you today. Joining me is Acting Director of the National Blood Transfusion Service, Dr. Veronica Taylor. Thanks for coming, Dr. Taylor.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning. Okay, Dr. Taylor, one of the first fears that we want to discuss today is the fear of needles or being too nervous to donate.
Okay. First of all, donating blood allows that you can save 3 lives. So when you are coming to donate blood, you have to have that in mind. I know that there are myths or fears to donated blood because the size of the needle is like a mosquito bite. Don't be scared. That unit will be open in front of you and it's an easy way to go. Our nurses are well capable to do this procedure. You cannot be scared because when you go into donated blood, that unit of, or the bag of unit of blood will be open in front of you. So it's single use. You will feel comfortable. There is not a way, not at all, to catch any disease.
Some persons also believe that they cannot donate blood because they've had other diseases such as ZV and CHIKV. This is not the case. You can also donate if you've had these diseases, right?
Okay, I would like to clarify that. When you come into donated blood, you will have an interview. So in that interview, the nurse will be rigorous, asking you few questions that you will answer because it will be for the benefit of the recipient. So they will ask you few questions as if you have been in contact with person that have sick B. If that is the case, you will defer for 15 days. If you have been contacted the sick B, you will be deferred for 15 days. If you, after donating blood, started with symptoms, you will need to contact the blood transfusion service at any way that you have been donated the blood, because we will defer that blood will be discarded. So we will have a quarantine of the blood for a few days in awaiting for any symptoms that the donors could have in that period of time.
And Dr. Taylor, what about those persons who believe that they will not be able to partake in any physical activity or sport after donating blood?
One of our recommendations when we do the interview, if you go to the gym every day, the day that you donated the blood, will not do it, because remember that we have to remove 500 milliliters of the volume of your blood. My recommendation is increase your water intake. Taking more than 3 liters, you will be okay for the following day, be doing your gym or your sport activity.
That's great. And what about those persons who believe that they will not have enough blood after giving blood, so they avoid giving blood in its entirety?
What I will say, your bone marrow, removing 500 milliliters will hyperactive and will put in place in the, again, you need your red cell, your platelet, and your white blood cell. So nothing to worry about.
Persons sometimes say that they're just too busy to donate. What do you have to say regarding, how long the process is and, the other blood drives that you have to facilitate persons who may not be able to come here directly to donate blood?
Okay, that is a good question. We have the possibility to go to your workplace to allow you with a blood drive to help us to increase our number of units of blood in the blood bank. So we have different ways to allow to you to donate blood. 1, coming to the blood collection center. 2, a blood drive. 3, we use a mobile unit that go to the different places to allow person that interested to donate blood to go to that facility. The other way that you can, your day that you are resting, is a person living in Kingston and St. Andrews can go on Saturday from 9 to 3 o'clock to the National Chest Hospital. There we have a blood collection center that is open every Saturday. So that is another possibility, that the day that you are free to go and donate blood.
Perfect. And what about the issue of age? Is there an age limit for donating blood? Are you ever too old or are you too young to donate?
There is important to know that you can donate blood if you are between 17 and 60 years old. For the person that have been donated and regular donor, they can go up to 65. So that is important to be aware.
And a very popular myth is that you cannot donate blood because you've had a tattoo.
No, that I know that it is normal to have a tattoo, but we don't allow after 1 year to come and donated blood. Remember that you will use needle and you can be infected, so there is a window period that we don't want to violate, so we wait 1 year after you donated you have your tattoo in place and you can come and donated blood. Don't be scared.
And finally, vegetarians think that they cannot give blood because they simply do not have enough iron.
Okay, that is not true. Starting with a healthy lifestyle, we know that eating more vegetable and fruit, we are doing well. So vegetarian person don't have to be scared. We will take you through the process of what you will do when you donate in blood, and we will check your hemoglobin level, doing a test, and that will let me know if you are able to donate or not. So vegetarian is not an excuse to come and donate blood.
Thank you, Dr. Taylor. Is there anything else you want to say?
Yes, I want to say something that is very important. Please, it's not only National Blood Transfusion Service at 21 Slipen Road where you can come and donate blood. There are 10 blood collection centers island-wide, and I please encourage everybody to come and donate blood. We know that in the last, 8 months, the increase of accidents in Jamaica have been affected. So the way that we can save that life is sometimes the need of blood. Also, I would like to encourage people to keep donating blood. Why? Because PAHO and WHO want in 2020 that our country be 100% voluntary donors. So without your support, we will not be in that target. Please come and donate blood.
Thank you, Dr.
Yes.
Taylor. It was good having you. So having some of those major fears and misconceptions dispelled, I sure hope that you will face your fear today and donate blood. All the best.
As much as we would like everyone to be like us, our country is filled with diversity. Variety is indeed the spice of life. There are differences in people, cultures, lifestyles, religions, and political preferences. It is therefore important that we are tolerant of people's differences. Tolerance does not mean agreement. It is more like accepting that someone is entitled to their preference, even though they may differ from yours. I'm sure you have seen where someone felt as if their opinion is being attacked. And what does that person do? They fight back. Intolerance leads to fighting, violence, and destroys the peace in society. Tolerance means that people can live together peacefully, and this is very important if we want Jamaica to be the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. That's all we have for you today. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of Jamaica Magazine. Don't forget to visit our website, jis.gov.jm. Follow us on Twitter at JIS News and like our Facebook page. Until next time, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.